Yes, okay. When we see these big corporate heads, they have been almost found guilty, close to being found guilty of a crime, and they are locked in their penthouse. You understand? Now, Joe Matagrano, that don't make any sense, because I used to be a butler years ago. Most rich people, ones I know, enjoyed being in their penthouse. They didn't do much outside. They enjoyed being in the house. So if you take him and put a collar on him and say he can't come outside, but he's in his penthouse, that don't make any sense. That shouldn't make any sense to the American people. Why are the American people outraged about those things?
They should be. They should be. But you get people with that kind of power, it's almost absolute. And really, you've just got to drag it out and let everybody know what's going on. It's a crime, and now it's taking its toll on the worker. I just had some numbers here that are really going to shock you.
Go ahead.
And this is to show you what the middle class is feeling here. I just happened to run across this yesterday reading an article that 1 out of every 70 homes is in foreclosure.
Yes.
In 2008, 2.2 million homes went into foreclosure. And 1 in 10 Americans today is behind in their mortgage payment. Yes. What does it all come down to? It all comes down to jobs.
Yes.
I mean, you say, well, we created jobs. Don't tell me you created jobs in Burger King or McDonald's.
That's right.
Okay, those are to me, those are for kids who are in school trying to make some money to go to a movie or something like that. It's not for the man to work so that he can support a family. Okay? So
and it's not for the middle class young man, not kid, that's at home, because he could never, we talked about this before last time I was on the show, is that he could never duplicate what his family has done for him in terms of a lot of these kids today, young people today, are living in homes at $300,000-$400,000. Well, if he don't get a good union job or go off to school to become a doctor, lawyer, whatever the case may be, then if he's working at one of these little burger barns places, he's never going to be able to live in that style, that lifestyle. So he's going to be miserable psychologically.
All you can do is encourage them to continue with that, you know, and hopefully they make the change. Yeah, I'm a little bit older than you.
Right.
Okay, so I kind of lived in the, maybe Ozzie and Harriet, I'll say that days, you know, where the mother stayed home, the father went to work. There was 8 of us in the project. My father was the only one that worked, you know, but I tell you, it was a different type of world. We survived, always plenty of food on the table.
Sure.
Okay, but there was always somebody there.
Right.
Today, you're forcing the second parent, no choice. I mean,
no choice.
Go out and work just to meet the payments, to pay the bill, pay public service. Well, we're in that building. We pay public service with Jersey Central. You got to pay those bills. You got to pay that cable bill, you know. And so it takes a lot more to run a family today. So when both parents are out there working, that's less guidance for a child. And, and so we put more responsibilities on them. And when sometimes they do go wrong, I know you do a lot to try and, when we talked about, set them straight. And it's tough. It's tough. It don't take much, because they're under influence. Their peers are out there all the time. They're with them more times than you are.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
So it's a difficult time, a difficult situation. I'd like to see that change. I'd like to see that all disappear. But hopefully in the future it will.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to, the revolution I think that we're going to have is going to have to be an all-out revolution. Not, as you said earlier, not a physical revolution, but a psychological and economic revolution, because I read in Economist magazine about maybe 10, 15 years ago, they said the biggest middle class is going to be in Asia.
Probably so.
And, you know, so I'm you know, when you look at the equipment and the cars and the material that we buy to just make everyday life today, what will we get into? Is it time for us to maybe say, you know what, let's let somebody else make the cars. Let's specialize in something that's benefiting us. You know, can we change the whole game? You understand? And that right there is something that I think that we're going to have to put on the table, because, and I'll tell you, one thing I do from this church and the Town Talker Show, I always invite people in to sit down and talk. I said to the American businessman, come on together. You guys need to get together and put a strategy together to help. Don't put it, again, all on one person, the president, because you can't put it on just the president, without a doubt. So we all have a bucket of water that we need to pour to get this boat up. We all have that right there.
You have a young lady here who's running for mayor. I mean, one of her big concerns, I'm sure, is going to be with the young generation out there. You know, the kids in town. What are you going to do for them? You know, I'm sure that, you know, you want to do things that's going to keep them busy, keep them, you know, spiked up, that they want to go to school, they want to accomplish things, and you're gonna have a job. I hope you do. You win, and you're gonna have your work cut out for you. That's aside from all the other garbage. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But you know, concentrating on the young, you'll get involved with that, and there's people like this to fall back on, though, like the Reverend. He's into it, and he believes in trying to get them on the right track. Although a lot of them are, you know.
Yes,
the problem is you look at, maybe it's only 10% that's giving you a bad time, but it's that 10% that's the ones that are getting the headlines. You know,
right.
There's a lot of good there. You know, someone once told me, try find the things that somebody does right.
Yes.
We always look for what's wrong in somebody.
Right.
Find the things that are right. There are people out there and kids doing the right thing, accomplishing great deeds, and we don't look at that. We look at these silly tabloids out there that exploit the headlines with all the bad things. And maybe if you go to the back of the page, you might find where someone has really done something good, you know, and that's the way it is. But then again, it's money. That's what sells the paper, so that's what they put in it, you know.
So let me turn to Rebecca, since we're going to feed off of what Joe Matagrano just said. What is your plan for Plainfield, Rebecca?
My plan for Plainfield is we have a lot of room for improvement in Plainfield. And as far as you said, Mr. Matagrano, about the children, that's my biggest concern. The kids need something more structure after school, okay, rather than just hanging on the corners and that type of thing, you know. We need the lowering of the taxes here. The sewage is just, the taxes is just constantly going up.
Sure.
If you put your trash can out and the lid is just this closed, it's $25.
So they're taxing on everything and whatever.
So I'm trying to make a difference, and I'm hoping that I will have that chance to make that difference in Plainfield.
And I hope also, Rebecca, if you get into office, or when you get into office, that we could that you could work closer with the other towns, and maybe we can share on some of these responsibilities to bring the price down.
Exactly.
You know, I think I saw that in Rahway and maybe Avondale. Some towns over there start sharing in garbage disposal and different things, you know.
Exactly.
And you know, if we can incorporate that, then we can really build a strong nation, because it's going to take that right there to get us back up. We got to get back up on our feet. Joe Matt, going back to you, we're at the end of the show, and we really want to circle the show around the union. Should we raise our young to look for union jobs in the future?
You know, there's nothing wrong with unions, and they've done good things for good people, giving good livelihoods for people. But I would tell the kid, I mean, my children, well, they all have anyway. One's a university professor.
Good.
One does the morning show for CBS and the Letterman show. The other one has her own business, and one is a paralegal in Middlesex County. But what you got to tell them is they've got to raise their goals.
Sure.
You know, yeah, it's nice to get a union job and you're comfortable, you got that security, but you can achieve more than that. Become a professional. Stay in school.
Sure.
Whatever. There's programs out there. I mean, when I grew up, there was no money. There was no program. I never got to college. It was impossible. But today, there's no excuse for it.
Sure.
There are plenty of programs, plenty of aid out there, and go.
Yes.
Go.
Yes.
And believe me, I mean, it's like waiting for, instead of that quick nickel, wait for the slow dime.
Amen.
And it'll come, but stay in school, and that's the only thing I can tell them. But don't get me wrong, if that's not your thing, and you're a tradesman, then yeah, the union is nothing better than the unions. You have the union, you have unity, and some security.
Sure. But if you can, duck the tiger, duck them out and everything. So where we in on time at this moment? I guess we're very close. We're almost a minute. Okay, today we're going to go back and I'm going to talk about what'sgood.com. Safety, determination, commitment, protection, security for your kids. What'sgood.com. What's WTSGOOD.com. You guys out there, you better listen. And my friend Ray Spires is putting this together for those that prey on our kids. We're not going to have it. God bless you. Good night.
Child's abduction, child abuse, and unspeakable acts against our most precious resource, our children. And what's the most common way for predators to gain access to our children? The internet. Well, finally, there's protection. Presenting the world's ultimate tracking system, or www.whatsgood.com. That's WUTSgood.com, a web browser that notifies the